Greetings everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Anthony and this is Let's Get These Certs, a YouTube channel created to help people, including myself, to get certs in IT. I am going to change up the format just a little bit because I noticed that in my previous recordings the sound quality just wasn't up to par. So hopefully with this we'll be able to address that and put out a better quality product for everyone to get these certs. So with all that taken care of, let's move on to the next video in the CISCO CCENT CCNA 100-105 ICND1. And the next topic, which is outlined in Objective 1.3, and that is to describe the impact of infrastructure components in enterprise networks, specifically Objective 1.3.a, Firewalls and IPS. Whew, that was a mouthful. You probably heard about firewalls if you have watched a half-decent good movie or TV show. But do you really know what a firewall is? A firewall is a network security device that monitors incoming and outgoing network traffic and decides whether to allow or block specific traffic based on a defined set of security rules. Firewalls have been the first line of defense in network security for over 25 years. They establish a barrier between secured and controlled internal networks and can be trusted and untrusted outside networks such as the internet. A firewall can be hardware, software, or both. Firewalls can run in two different modes, transparent and routed. Transparent is where the device can run between two devices and not be detected. For example, if you were to put a firewall between these two switches, the traffic would pass through the switches without either of the switches knowing that the firewall is in between. This is helpful if you're auditing your local network and you don't want the end users to know or feel the interruption of a firewall in place. Now the other mode is routed, and that is where you'll most normally see firewalls in a corporate environment, and that is the last node of the network prior to either the router or the ISP. It would look something similar to one of these two options here. As you can see in the example, we have the firewall at the top in between the last switch and the router of the network. Below that, you will see that we have a firewall between the last switch of the network path and right before the internet. And now I'm sure you're asking yourself, how will the firewall be able to do this or do the functionality of the router since the router is not here any longer? And what is the difference between these two devices, this firewall and router? Because if the firewall can be able to do some of this, then why do we have a firewall and a router, and what are the differences? And that is with the firewall, the firewall denies all traffic first, and then allows what's necessary to come inside the network, instead of how routers work. And that's where they, by default, allow everything in and block individual things one by one as they come in. So, and how they do that is through, and how firewalls are able to do this is through stateful filtering. And this is done by different security zones or internal security zone levels. As you see here, we have 100, 10, and 0. Normally, internet is normally at the 0 level, depending on who configures it, but it's normally at the lowest level in your network. Now, if you have like internet security zone 10, let's say you have PoE telephones on this security zone, they will be able to talk from here to the internet, but the internet cannot talk directly to the phones on the zone because high security levels to low traffic can go through, meaning the higher the number, the traffic can go this way, but the traffic cannot come back up this way. Now there's one kind of caveat to that, and we'll get more into that when we talk about advanced functionalities, but just at a high level, what you want to understand is that this is how it protects it. So if traffic originates from a low zone like 0, it can't go to any other zone other than 0. So that helps protect the network by default. But let's say you have a person who is going to Google and he is on internet internal security zone levels 100. He's able to initiate the traffic from this level, go to Google, and then Google can respond as long as that session is active. And that is how firewalls are able to provide that protection. So the last part of this is IPS model or modules. And I'm pretty sure if you have been in the network security game a little bit, you probably heard of an IPS, but if you haven't, an IPS is an intrusion prevention system. It's a network security threat prevention technology that examines network traffic flows to detect and prevent vulnerability exploits. Cisco iOS intrusion prevention systems is an inline deep packet inspection feature that effectively mitigates a wide range of network attacks, a component of the Cisco iOS integrated threat control framework and complemented by Cisco iOS flexible packet matching feature. Cisco iOS IPS provides your network with the intelligence and accurately to identify, classify, and stop or block malicious traffic in real time. Now, there are benefits to this, having an IPS in your network, and that means one of them is increased network availability and a faster remediation. Like, you'll be able to get, it's going to look at the traffic and look for any unusual traffic and block the traffic. And it's also going to look for any kind of intrusion attempts. And usually the deployment is very flexible, and it does come, Cisco does have an awesome system, and I am definitely a Cisco fanboy when it comes to network infrastructure tools and the whole wide range of everything that's under this Cisco system security that they have out there. And the more you learn about Cisco, the more you're going to love the technology that they cover. And nowadays, like, if you get an ASA, like, the IPS modules are hanging off of the ASA, and it's completely insane that you can purchase one device, have it be able to be your router and firewall at the same time. So we have effectively covered all of the objectives that it's going to look for 1.3 A, and that is learning about firewalls and IPS devices. Now, I'm going to be working to upload more videos at a consistent basis, so please stay tuned for the next video in this series where we get to talk about more devices that are covered through the Cisco exam. And the more we get into this, we're going to start really starting to peel the layers back of this and get to see how intricate and awesome networking is. And I hope you're as excited as I am. But anyways, thank you again so much for taking time to watch this video. Please leave a like or a comment in the description below. And if you are like me and you want to get your cert this year, go ahead and hit the subscribe. All these three things really help the channel out and help me be motivated to put out videos as fast as I can if I have other people relying on this as much as I am. So thank you again for your time. You guys have a wonderful night.